Hey guys, so this is Joey again. A lot's happened since that first day in China. I've lost a lot of weight, if you can't tell. But back to what I was talking about. I got my luggage back about a month after being in Beijing, and after fighting with the school to contact the airlines to find it and track it down using the little bit that I had, because like I said, they didn't give me any paperwork at all when I landed and reported it. Maybe it was my fault because I didn't speak Chinese, but no one there spoke English either. But I mean, I'm in China. That was the first of many, many, many times I would be frustrated because no one spoke English. So much so that I didn't even try to learn Chinese until recently, pretty much a year after being here. So my school, uh, Best Learning, that's the school that I came here with, or Bela. It seemed like a great school to begin with. However, after the first 2 weeks of training, we were they get put us in a hotel for 2 weeks. Got training. Everything was great. Um, but then one of the girls that I came with, who I happened to meet before through New Life ESL, which is how I got my job in China. Brendan's amazing, so is Monica. But they brought Marianne with us, so she came and was Puerto Rican. She did not make it through training. They fired her, and they said that it was because she was the only person who didn't improve after the 2 weeks of training. But that wasn't the truth. She was actually a great teacher, so we thought it was really weird. And one of the guys that was there was a complete racist douchebag, and they put him through. Could Still don't understand that. But once we started working at the branch of Best Learning that we were supposed to be working at, mine was at mine and uh, Marianne's were both going to be at the same school at Jinyuan in Haijian, but of course she didn't make it, so one of the other girls came with me. One of the first things we did was talk to the head teacher and ask them, what happened, tell them what happened, and they told us it was because she was fired and not accepted because she was too dark, and some of the parents would not agree with having their kids taught by someone who wasn't white. Really, really fucked up. But they had also informed us that there was a guy who had been fired because he walked funny, and the parents wouldn't accept that. And then we had a white guy actually, who was hired while I was there, and he had acne really bad. Not not crazy. It wasn't. He wasn't a bad teacher, I guess. He wasn't a good teacher, but he had a bad attitude as well. But they fired him only because he scared some of the kids, and their excuse was that he didn't try to improve. Still, they had another asshole, William, working there who was racist and made really disturbing comments about some of the girls, the little girls that he taught. Always, always, always talking down about the Chinese women. I can't even describe how disgusting this guy is. Yeah, they seem to pick and choose who they let in for really weird reasons because William wasn't attractive at all and he wasn't a good teacher, but they kept him over the guy who was a little better teacher but had the acne. And that was one of the reasons they stated as for firing him. But in China, you can be fired for any reason at all. They don't have to actually tell you why or have a reason. Back to the other crazy things that Best Learning did. After a month of working there, yeah, a month, I got my first paycheck, and I noticed it was off a little bit, but I mean it was off 2,000 RMB, approximately 322 US dollars ish, if you're just estimating that one US dollar is 6.2 RMB, whatever. So I contacted headquarters about the problem, found out that it was an issue with my contract, and although my contract said my tier was tier 3, I was getting paid for tier 1. They sent out someone to give me a new contract to my school to fix the problem and have me sign a new contract. But um, I noticed on my new paycheck the next month, my check stub, that they added a new feature where it said that I was going to be on a sliding scale and my pay would adjust depending on stars, a star system. I looked at my contract, the old one and the new one, and neither place did I agree to that. So I told them that I didn't like that, a performance-based pay, and I didn't want to do it. So I waited to see what was going to happen, and again, my pay was wrong by a lot. It was off by almost double, a little over 4,000 RMB, about 700 US dollars, give or take. I contacted them and told them that if it wasn't fixed, I would be getting a new job and I would leave the school. They have a really, really high turnover rate, so they do anything they can to keep the teachers, especially the male foreign teachers. They will easily get rid of a Chinese teacher to make a male foreign teacher happy. They won't tell you this, but you hear it. You hear it around the office from the Chinese coworkers and from your Western coworkers who have been there for a while. Some of the Westerners were just used to being there and stayed. They'd been there for 2 years. Some had been there for a year and they just stayed with them, finished their contracts, whatever the reason was. They didn't want to change days off or hours, whatever it was. But I contacted the school again and told them that if it wasn't fixed, I'd be leaving. And here it's really easy to transfer schools because so many schools, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of schools just in Beijing alone, and they all want foreign teachers. Native speakers preferably, but not necessarily. The next payday, they had actually put the missing 4,000 RMB back onto my check. It was off again. It was off by about 5 days of pay, 3 of which were supposed to be for a visa run that I went on to Mongolia. You get paid for those 3 days, but I didn't. And then they added 2 extra days to it instead, because technically what happens is you're gone for 2 days. You have to use your day off and another day, or your 2 days off plus another day. My days off are split Monday and Friday, so I couldn't use that. So they had actually added or took away 2 days of pay instead of adding 2 days of pay to my check. I contacted the school and told them that I was going on an interview with another school if my pay wasn't put on my check that day. 2 hours later, they fixed the pay. It was all put on there, but I had already set up another interview. This interview was with Yaowa, which is where I work now. I've been there since November. It is currently May. It's an amazing school. I've had no problems, but I guess it took about a week of negotiations to get the pay. I was making 12,000 RMB at Best Learning a month, base pay, which they said it could go up to 15 depending on my hours, and I worked 42 hours but was only getting paid 35 hours. It was so aggravating. Best Learning was so bad at keeping up with the pay and keeping it accurate. Nobody that worked there ever got 2 months in a row of accurate pay. every month you have to fight to get what you're supposed to be paid. Not worth it. 12,000 base pay RMB is about 2,000 US dollars. Yawa pays me almost double that. My hours are now Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'm not a morning person, but working here for that long, for what, 6, 7 months now, I'm always up in the mornings. Have no problem. I love it. My kids are amazing. I really wish I had more office hours, though. The good things about Best Learning, all the other foreigners, the contacts you can make, and the help you can get. We camped out on a great wall for the Mooncake Festival in August. It was amazing. The Mooncake Festival. Whatever the hell it's called. I don't know. I'll look it up. Also, Marianne, the girl who got fired from Best Learning, she actually got another job working at another international kindergarten. I got a part-time job working at another branch of her kindergarten. We became best friends in China, did everything together until December 2014. Right before Christmas, some creepy guy followed her home and stood by our front door. And when I got there a few minutes later, he was still there and tried to follow me into the apartment. He was always holding his eye and looking down, and it was really weird. He kept mumbling something in Chinese. Of course, he didn't speak English. But again, we're the idiots in China that don't speak Chinese. So we contacted our agency, who helped us with everything. Whenever you come to China, your agency does everything for you. They help you with every possible thing you could think of. But we asked her if she could call the police or give us the number to call the police. And she told us, no, it's okay. There are no bad guys in China, especially Beijing. Nothing bad can happen. Would not help us whatsoever. And all of our Chinese friends were busy at the time or whatever because they weren't responding to WeChat messages. Actually, here it is, a full year in China, and I still don't know how to call the police. I did call the fire department one time on accident because I thought it was the police, but I still don't know how to contact the police. I should probably figure that out. Anyway, after that, unfortunately, Marianne got freaked out, and so did her parents. So she went back to Massachusetts, and bitch, you still need to come back. You need to come home, ho. I miss you. China's not the same without you. Anyway, I'll add pictures and stuff to the end of this video. Maybe mix some in the beginning. Who knows? And then I will upload videos from the different experiences that I've had to the next video, and we'll talk about those too. Until then, comment, like, and subscribe. Tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what you want to know about. The food, the people. I have videos from the markets. I have a lot of raw footage to go through. Like I said, I've been here for a year now. I'm getting ready to renew my visa. Just tell me what you want to know about. Most of this is for my family and friends from back home, but hopefully other people will find it. People interested in moving to China, teaching. It's super easy, super fun. I was really terrified when I first got here, but it's so worth it. I would recommend it to anyone. So until then, 再见. Bye bye. 上落转上转1个圈2个圈到这儿来到这儿来还从这儿来还从这儿来1 2 3 4转横放3 4 1 2前进1上过上
Ready?
I am happy.
How are you?
How are you?
How are you?
I am happy.
Stay tuned for some exciting new videos. I've got some on bungee jumping, zip lining in China, and some of scuba diving and my trip to the Philippines to add. Also to Hong Kong. Don't forget, if you're looking for a job teaching English in China, check out newlifeesl.com. Tell them Joey sent you. Until then, subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you.